Hey y'all, I'm Alex Segura, social media manager here at Dickey's Barbecue Pit. And today, I've got the legend himself with me, our Vice President of Culinary and R&D, Chef Matt Burton.
Hey y'all, always fired up to be here. Let's talk some barbecue, Alex.
Yes, absolutely. So, you all hit us up with some amazing questions on social, some serious, some smoky, and a few that actually made us LOL, laugh out loud. So let's get to it, okay?
All right,
Question number one.
Make it easy.
Let's kick it off with this one. What's the secret to getting that perfect smoke ring on brisket?
Well, what's interesting, the smoke ring that everybody loves and talks about, I do a lot of competitions and we compete around the world. That's not actually part of competition anymore because it's so easy to fake a smoke ring. And a lot of people do that, those you see in the stores and things like that. If you add MSG or if you add some of these other sodium phosphates, things like that, to your rub, that'll actually create the pink ring. And so in competitions, they don't even use that as allowing you to get points for it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Unlike us here, where we don't use any of that, we're all about low and slow and traditional pit smoked barbecue. And we rub down our briskets with salt, pepper, some garlic, a couple other secret seasonings, and put them in the refrigerator overnight. That cures that outside. Then we put it in a smoker, 225, 275 degrees for about 12 hours, low and slow. And that chemical reaction between the salt and the fat and the juices in the brisket help create that beautiful, nice peak ring that you're talking about.
Okay. So we've got a beautiful smoke ring on our brisket,
Yes.
But do we have MSG?
Nope, none of that. We just use a very, very clean, traditional, all the way back to Mr. Dickey's rub recipe, believe it or not. And it's just salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, and like I said, a couple of secrets that I got to keep to myself. So
It's that competition style, legit Texas barbecue.
and that's what we're all about. Let's see what you got next.
All right, okay, so here's a fun one. If you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring one rub, what's making the trip?
One rub, what making the trip? This is one of these things we should have probably scripted beforehand. You know what? I like to use our pork rub is fantastic because it's a nice balance of sweet and peppery, and so you can really use that on anything. Pork is what I call a neutral meat, like chicken. It's a white meat. It's a neutral meat. Not a lot of flavor by itself. So like our rub allows a lot of flavor to be introduced, and because it's got a sugar, anything you use it on, chicken, fish, anything, it gives some nice caramelization as well.
I do love a nice caramelized meat right there. But real quick,
That was
is our fufu powder, is that included in our rubs?
It is part of our rubs. We use that as a finishing item. Our fufu powder, again, uses a lot of these different ingredients, but what makes it special is we actually triple grind our fufu powder. We have our own special seasoning blender right here in Texas that makes our fufu powder for us, and we triple grind it until it's very, 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 very fine, almost to the extent of what you think of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. And so what that does, when we sprinkle it on our pork or on our French fries or anything at the end, when you come to our storage, you'll see us sprinkling it right on top. That actually melts immediately, and you won't even see it on it, but you get the flavor.
Oh, yeah.
And that way, when you bite, nothing worse than you bite and then get like big peppercorn or something. That's disgusting. So we grind these down, so it's all about the flavor, and that it just enhances everything else.
Yes, absolutely. The fufu powder
You just like saying fufu powder.
I do, and
get
that's
that. I've seen
exactly
that.
what I would take with me on a desert island. All right, question number 3. Someone wrote in and said, I'm just getting started. What's the one tool every backyard pitmaster absolutely needs to invest in?
Well, I mean, the obvious would be a smoker or grill, right? But I have actually done competitions that we had to build our own. You walked out, there was tools, we had to build our own grill.
Okay.
And you had to cook on it, and then you had to serve it. So we took rocks and stones, and we dug a pit in one, and we actually did baby goats and put them down in there with achiote paste down in Mexico.
Barbacoa.
Yes, like that, right down in Mexico City. And we did it, we buried it, and we killed it. It was fantastic. It was a great dish. But assuming you have a smoker, you have a grill, you have something that you're using, a Traeger or something like that, the absolute must that every single person must have, and if they don't have it and they say that they're some sort of barbecue chef, they really don't know what they're talking about. You got to have a good thermometer. You absolutely have to have a good thermometer because you got to know the temperature, you got to know your time, you got to know your temperature, you got to know when that meat is cooked, you got to know the temperature of your smoker, the temperature of everything, or you're not controlling what you're trying to do.
I like that. That's a really good answer and very knowledgeable information to hand out to fellow pitmasters out there.
Yeah, every Christmas, every holiday, every anything, buy your pitmaster just a couple of thermometers. They'll love it. They'll always use them.
Absolutely. All right, so
What else?
let's move on to the next question. So, Chef Matt, let's pull back the curtain right now.
Uh-oh.
What's one thing people would be surprised to learn about how we test recipes at Dickey's?
I'm not sure I can tell you that. No, so how do we do test recipes? So, well, as you know, we work very closely with our marketing department. Our marketing department gives us ideas, tells us, hey, this is what's hot, this is what's trending, this is what's out there. I then normally ignore you completely and then come in and show something else. But beside that point, we work very closely with you. We do the recipes. I work with the team right here, Central, the very first Dickey's restaurant. It's an honor to be working here at the original Dickey's restaurant and to be working with their team. We come over here, we'll spend a couple of days. Sometimes we work with our vendors, but we do a taste testing. Mr. Dickey, Mr. Roland Dickey, our boss, Roland Dickey Jr., he comes down here and tastes everything. Laura Ray Dickey tastes everything. Once it gets past that line of defense, I suppose, right? And it goes forward. We actually test every single recipe in our Dallas stores. So we've got at least 10 stores that are tested, and we test it for up to 3 months before we even tell anybody else in the building about it. We try to keep it quiet. We want to make sure, a couple reasons. One, we don't want it to get out. And two, if it fails, you know, I'm not a big fan of telling everybody, hey, I screwed up, you know. But that's how we do our tests for about 3 months. We tweak it, and I can't remember, honestly, I don't remember the last time we didn't put one out that we didn't have to change. And that's why we test it. We put it out there. I think I did it right. And you know what? One of these line cooks or one of our crew comes around and says, you know what? It'd be better if we did it this way. Why don't we do it this way, chef? And you know what? That's how we make it successful, and we make it as easy as possible for our franchisees.
Absolutely. It's teamwork. Teamwork that makes that dream work.
It does.
All right, so this one cracked me up. If ribs had a theme song, what would it be, Chef Matt?
Oh man, I think Baby Back. Baby Got Back? Baby Got Back!
Baby Got Back!
I think
Yes,
that's a good
you're
theme song.
absolutely right.
I think we're just going to leave that right there and just everybody enjoy that moment. We'll just, I'm not going to talk anymore about that.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
But
Another
anyway, Chef
question, I
Matt,
hope not, because I'm going to leave it on Baby Back.
yeah, I think that's a perfect place. Let's go ahead and close it off there.
Good.
Because I had a blast doing this. I hope you did too, Chef
Yes,
Matt.
as always.
And thank you to everyone else who sent in questions. Y'all keep us on our toes and keep things fun around here.
And here's your nugget for the day. Don't peek. If you're looking, you're not cooking.
I love that. Want your question featured in the next round? Drop it in the comments and tag us on social. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.